Boom! What's up, everybody? We're back here. I know we're a little late. It was not my fault. It was Kevin's fault. He came on here. He was unannounced. He just jumped in, surprised me and Tony. He wanted to talk to us forever. Imagine K. Falik just talking your ear off. I mean, I couldn't even get my hands to work to start the show because he just kept talking in my ear, Tony. It just kept bothering me. He said, JSU, I want to come on. And then he was talking to us about other things. And then by then I'm like, K. Falik, we're already 12 minutes late. I mean, that's what happens when Kevin comes on.
What I heard was the dude shipped 2 days ago, entering multi-teams, 100 teams. And literally 2 days later, JSU, he's whining about how stressful it was. He literally just shipped 2 days ago. Well, imagine that being stressful to you. Shipping and then 2 days later complaining about it being stressful.
I tell you right now, Kevin has a lot of stress on his plate. He's putting 150 in tonight, guys. Feel bad for him. Yeah, he's stressed out. So, I mean, he's back on Kevin. You want to shit talk JSU and Big T, come for us. But say nice things about Kevin, all right? Say
nice things. Keep the stress levels down.
Yeah, keep the stress levels down. What's going on? Make sure you guys hit the like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. As we get the free shows, we have them every single day, much to Kevin's dismay, but we have them every single day for all different sports. So make sure you guys
supposed to stress K. Falik out, and then you went in on him. Like, you got to take it easy on him today.
I mean, I can't come in. This is okay, first of all, don't mess with my hosting acumen, all right, Tony? Fair. I'm in my wheelhouse right now.
Fair. I'll let you do your thing, then.
Thank you. I appreciate it. When you look at me as a host and then you look at, the fake hosts like Holden, who are out there, I'm sure he's in the chat somewhere.
He's right there.
You just see a big difference. You know what I mean? JSU comes on and then Holden comes on and he's like down here. I got to show Holden up. I got to show him how to do his job. And when Tony interrupts me, I can't do it anymore. It just ruins the flow.
Can I provide the reason that we were actually
last night hosting?
Can I provide the real reason we were late, though, real quick?
Well, hold that off, Falik, for 1 sec, because he asked me about Uncle T, and I do want to answer this because Uncle T actually texted me and asked me for an honest grade on his hosting job. I swear to God,
I can see him sending that to you.
No, he did. He said, JSU, I want you to be brutally honest with me. How did I do? And I gave him the truth. I said, honestly, Uncle T, you came in, you kind of fumbled the intro. You seemed a little nervous. But after the intro, you figured it out, man, quick, and you hit the ball out of the park. I gave him an A. It would have
been A. Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
I gave him
an
A.
Done with three people, too. Like, if it was two, it's easier than three.
So also, what he said was it was a curveball when you brought the third person on there. He wasn't ready for it. So that was a little
He was asking me all kinds of questions like, oh, what do I you know how Uncle T is. He was
well, I must say, you're at least everybody is working correctly as a company right now. The fact that the content director is finally providing any type of feedback to the people that are producing and doing the hosting on the show. So congratulations to both of you.
Kevin, weren't you saying why we were late on the show?
Yeah, so the reason we were late, which Nick kind of just jumped into a little bit, JSU did have to adjust the camera.
How could Nick have known that?
We were trying to get him to adjust
this is bullshit. I did not adjust the camera. What happened was Kevin wouldn't let us go on until I adjusted my seat. Because my head was being cut off.
Nick is a genius.
Nick is a genius. Honestly, we should get the giveaway, but it can't be that easy, so we just can't. But that was pretty impressive, right?
JSU felt like he was. JSU was scared. Is very worried that he's currently deep throating the little microphone right now.
Whoa, deep. Huh? Deep.
I mean, it's kind of true. I'm like,
microphone.
We're not on premium anymore. That's very vile.
Okay, sorry. Well,
see, this is the real reason why Kevin likes premium shows, because he likes to talk that shit more than I do, Tony. You thought I was saying bad things. I mean,
But anyways,
I'm
I had to get JSU to go down on his
Go down?
on his chair.
Go down. This is free here, Kevin.
Decrease the
Alec,
height.
I'm short enough, man. I don't need to go down anywhere. All right, buddy. I'm
Decrease
already
the height
here. All
of
right,
his
I'm
chair.
fucking here.
He had to decrease the height of his chair by about 4 inches to be able to so you could actually see
4 inches.
So
It's one thing after another with this guy. 4 inches. How'd you know?
Chat, this is my point though. So I'm telling them before the show, I'm like, I fucking hate this. I feel short. And they're laughing at me. They're like, dude, it literally looks like you moved out like 2 inches. Like, what are you talking
2
about?
inches. Okay.
And I'm like, no, I feel ridiculous right now being this low in the chair. Then the chat figures it out literally 3 minutes into the show that I'm obviously shorter than I was. I mean, come on, Tony. You admit you were wrong, that it's noticeable how much shorter I became.
I actually didn't notice. That's a true statement.
I will again say that the perfect solution to this, JSU, is just to back up your camera just a few inches.
I'm not moving my computers. I'm not doing that.
You don't have to get a tripod. You notice how I filtered that in for Kevin. Get a tripod going, put it behind your computer, and it gives you more real estate.
You worked that in for Kevin? That was for Kevin?
Just for Kevin. He was on a roll with things. I had to keep it going.
You had to keep it going.
And I know people like 15 minutes of sex talk to start the show too. I know
that's right. I sent the tweet. I said, NBA Showdown winners and some bullshit along the way. But I mean, we're just gonna roll with the bullshit for a little bit because K Fallick's on here and he just wants to talk. Kevin, anything else you want to say?
When are we going to talk about your Celtics going down again in a game one? Plus 300 was like stealing.
Is that bullshit or is that NBA talk? That's not bullshit.
We're at 5:03. I thought that was time to move on to shit talk about sports.
Oh, so we only get 6 minutes of bullshit and then we shit talk.
Okay, go back to it. I'm ready to talk.
It's fine. I have a lot to say on the Celtics anyway, so I'm good to move to that game if you guys want to go there. But I mean, Tony was on the Heat. I was on the Celtics. K Fallick, I didn't get your prediction for the series, but I'll get it in a second when you tell me who you bet. But watching that game last night, I mean, second half, the Celtics, Jimmy Butler just owned them. That's the truth. The Celtics just faded.
Jimmy Butler is so freaking alpha. Oh my God!
Oh, I got a question for you. Speaking of alpha, so is he fake alpha? Like
no,
Kobe?
He is not fake alpha.
Oh, so he's not like Kobe then?
He's not in the gym at 3:30 a.m. just to beat people there. Don't get us on there. We're not talking about Kobe.
Is that fake? I gotta that's a bad take by you, by the way. That might be one of your worst takes ever. Fake hustle. Fake. Okay, Fallick, you think that's fake hustle when a dude gets up at 4 a.m. to work out?
No.
Thank you. Kevin, who are you on for the series? I didn't get your prediction.
Yeah, I think Boston's going to win the series was my prediction originally. I did I have some really nice bets with the Lakers and the Nuggets that I'm sitting on, so decided that I would run with.
Wait, you have bets for the Lakers and the Nuggets
that I made the Nuggets one at preseason, and I made the Lakers one on February 9th.
To win the chip? To win the whole thing?
I got them at winning the chip and winning the Western Conference. So I needed some hedge opportunities, and I didn't think I'd get better hedge opportunities than betting. And I lost, unfortunately, the Philly side, but I bet Philly and Miami on to win the championship in hopes that Boston would lose. So I have a 14-1 bet on Miami right now to win the championship to hedge a little bit. But I think Boston, I'm very worried that Boston's going to win the championship. I'm not going to have to hedge whatever I have, but I think it's expected. And I just couldn't get good odds on Boston overall. So I think Boston's going to win.
Now it's not even, in my opinion, the odds just aren't great.
Yeah.
But going to the series though, Kevin, the thing with the Celtics that just worries me is they just fading games so much. That is the one thing, though. I said this before the series start, and Tony, you can chime in whenever you want. But I said Boston, Miami, these are teams where they can go on the road and get a win. I'm not worried about it. Like, I wouldn't be worried if Miami lost this game and I was on the Miami side. And I'm not worried if I am on the Celtics side and they lost that game, obviously, at home. I'm just not worried for either of these teams because they both are good enough to go in and steal a game in the other's home court. It's just the facts. And like, I was dying laughing. Did you guys see Bam like get so mad at that question when they were asking him about stealing the game? And he was just like, what are you doing? And Kyle Lowry's like, well, we're the 8th seed, so we can't play 4 games at home. We got to get one of them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want us to do? I mean, yeah, it feels great, but we got to steal one game. So I don't know. I'm not worried personally as a Boston fan because they do this. We saw it in the Philly series. They're going to do this again. I guarantee you they're going to do it again. They're going to lose a game. They're going to fade. They're going to look good in one half and then fade in the second half and lose the game because Jimmy Butler can take over. Jimmy Butler is alpha, and that's what he does. And when he plays like that, he makes everyone around him directly so much better. And you saw it with Gabe Vincent and all these other guys. The Caleb Martin, by the way, one of my favorite plays on the slate. Caleb Martin, who smashed on the slate yesterday, just the confidence, like those guys feed off of him. When he plays like that, it's so much easier for those guys. And I think you saw it, especially in the second half of that last game. And what happened to Jason Tatum? Because all I heard was, oh, he only took 2 shots. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No. With like 4 minutes left, the man turned the ball over 3 different times. So, yeah, okay, should he have shot more in the second half? 100%, agree, whatever. The man was very nervous about making passes, didn't know where to go. They had him thinking so much at the end of that game. The help was there. They were closing down driving lanes, making him think about, like, getting the steal, losing the ball. And he just threw it to Jimmy twice, by the way, and then traveled the second time on he was going to shoot it, knew he was going to get blocked. Like,
and then he argued it.
Why?
Jump.
JSU, why are they playing Peyton Pritchard 11 minutes in the Eastern Conference?
That I don't understand. To me, it has to be like the coach thinks there's no energy. They need energy. So let's get this little guy off the bench who can run around, maybe, create
who
a little
hasn't
habit.
played all season.
But then Jimmy Butler, what's he do like the first or second play offensively when they get the ball in the half court, K-Falik? Do you remember what he did? He literally said, switch, get me the ball in the post, dribble, raised up right over him and scored. Like, yep. What are they going to do? They're going to abuse him. Like, you can't play Peyton Pritchard. You can't, good coaches like Spo, smart players like they're going to realize that, and they're just going to attack. Those guys don't work in this series. You can't be playing that style. But we've seen it from Joe Mazzulla. He'll just say, fuck it, I'm going to try this or whatever. And I'm going to save all my timeouts and save them till the next game. Like, sometimes I just don't know what he does, but it was a team effort. The only guy, in my opinion, from Boston who played a very solid all-around game and never gets credit is Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart was amazing yesterday, but because they lost, no one will remember it. But he was awesome. Floor general. My take like a week ago on him was literally spot on when I said how his game just completely grew. Like, he is unbelievable and he gets no credit. Everyone just looks at him defender. He is so good on that team. Like, I know you guys think I have a hard on for Smart, but he is such a good player offensively and defensively. And he's grown so much from 4 years ago, Marcus Smart, where he was just jacking up threes constantly. He's so much more smart on the offensive end. I get it, the pun. You see that? Smart. Tony, you liked that, didn't you?
Yeah, that was nice.
I did a rhyme. I'm really good at rhyming. I don't know if you know this, but I'm one of the best hosts who can rhyme. I'll throw that out there. I'm one of the greatest at it. But
it's great that Smart rhymes with smart.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Kevin.
Very nice work.
What was your take, Tony, on the game? Because I just talked for about 7 minutes. So you want to give a take?
That was only 7?
It was 7. I watched
way longer.
I watched the clock. So
yeah, it was 7 though, because I said 5:03. Now it's 5:10. So it's a good call. That's good hosting. You knew exactly it was 7 minutes. That's impressive, actually.
And I didn't use the accent, smart. I didn't even say smart. I mean, I should have done that.
Yeah, you did good though. You had good
Thank you.
touch with it. But yeah, I mean, game one went pretty much how I thought. Like, so they played in the bubble. It went 6, I think. They played last year. It went 7. Jimmy Butler had a 3-pointer to win the series. He missed it. Everyone criticized the shot. I can't remember. Maybe they were down 1 and he shot a 3, whatever it was. I can't remember. But he had a wide open 3 to win the series. It's going to go. I even said, bet it to go 7. Like, I just think it goes 7. So Boston just loses games, and Miami is the perfect team to play Boston tough. They're going to defend. Jimmy's going to be able to score on him and do whatever he wants. And, I mean, my worry, though, is for Boston, and I know that I kind of got down on them the last 2 series. My worry, though, is Spo's such a good coach, and these guys play so hard. The Warriors kind of cracked the code on Boston in the playoffs where these guys can only go to one side. Jalen and Tatum, you saw it at the end of that last game. They keep playing Tatum that way, and he doesn't really know what to do with it still. So, Spo's a coach, man. Boston better not – this isn't Philly. Spo's going to have dudes ready with a game plan. So, I think it goes 7. Like JSU said, I agree with that. Home court doesn't mean anything. I think they're just going to go back and forth the whole series. But Miami will probably win again on the road, and they still won't necessarily – I'm not saying game 2 they're going to win, but maybe they win game – whatever it is, game 5 in Boston. Or I could see anything happening, but my 2 bets going in were Miami plus 400 and Boston to win 4-3 plus 360. So I'm rooting on a 7-game series. I'm feeling pretty good about it after game 1.
Don't be shocked, Tony, if we see the exact same thing that happened in Philly. Losing game 5, come back, win game 6, 7. Don't be shocked, man. I'm telling you right now, because I could see it.
I mean, the only thing that would shock me is if Boston won this series 4-1 or 4-2 even. Like, I think it goes 7 or Miami wins. That's my take.
All right. Kevin, any takes from you from the game? I mean, Tony only gave us like 2 minutes. So you have at least a few minutes if you want to ramble.
No, I think that it's overall the one thing that I will take away from it is that Miami's team defense is what has made a difference so far with them in the series. You got a great player in Jimmy Butler, but also you have him being able to defend, Bam being able to defend, Caleb Martin, like even Max Struss is a pretty solid defender overall. In the grand scheme of things on a team defense kind of structure. So it's a good matchup for Miami to be able to take on a team that doesn't necessarily play as if they have one alpha all the time. Like they may have one, but they don't play as if they do. So it allows the team to react accordingly. And I think that you're going to see, you got to consider that Grant Williams is going to get some run tomorrow. If they're going with Peyton Pritchard and that didn't work, like you got to consider Grant Williams maybe in play and doing some spot up threes and stuff like that.
I got my same take as yesterday with those bigs, though. If Boston goes big, I don't see how they can win this series. That's kind of what JSU was saying yesterday with. I mean, if they let these shooters, like Struss was wide open a bunch, K-Love was wide open a bunch, they have to go small, I think. Like they're playing Grant Williams and even Bob Williams. I like Miami's matchup.
Grant's fine. It's Al Horford. It's not Grant Williams the issue. It's Al Horford and Robert Williams being on the court at the same time is going to be the issue.
Yeah, you need to play one of them because I think Rob Williams, when he was out there, was effective, but together I think it just hurt them.
They did kind of throw us off at the beginning too because we both talked on the show yesterday, and they came out with Tatum on Love a lot, which kind of threw me off a little bit in that first quarter. And having Love, I was very disappointed. But then in the third quarter, when the Heat had their best quarter, they kind of put Bob back on him a little bit. So I don't know what changed. I don't know how many series, but with Tatum on it, I thought that was an interesting matchup for the Celtics.
I kind of liked it too with Tatum on Love because honestly, like that's he can kind of take it doesn't take a lot of energy out of him on the defensive end. You know what I mean? He can focus on the offensive end. I liked it. I thought it was a good
and it's an easy matchup for Tatum. Like all you got to do with Love is just get out on him. Don't let him shoot wide open threes. That's
he's
all
not worried about Love like going by him either.
No,
even when Tatum's playing lazy defense, he's not worried about it. Like so that's why I thought it was perfect. But again, we saw it, right? The small ball with Miami, when Caleb Martin came in, I thought they were just way better with him in. And we'll see how the series goes. Who knows? I mean, they changed things up in the Philly series late, and that obviously helped Boston win the series. Tony, they could easily change it up in game 2 or game 3. You know what I mean?
It's going to be a lot harder versus Miami, though. I think they will for sure. I think it's going 7. I'll keep saying that part. But it's going to be tougher because Spo's going to adjust, too. It's not going to be like Philly with Doc Rivers where he just isn't going to – Spo's going to always adjust, too. And I'm just not – I know I've been worried about Boston. JSU owned me last series. I'm just not confident in that coach to make adjustments. I think Spo might just whoop his ass. Like, I really do. And he's got the best player. Like,
coaching
sure,
edge is definitely
the one thing I will say, and we can move on, is I think that Derek White has earned his run back after game 1. And I think he will be an important piece, hopefully, for the rest of the series. So
there was one play I saw a clip of where Malcolm Brogdon's on the wing and Cody Zeller's on the wing. He's playing 2 pretty much, right? And I think it was Max Struss is in the corner. And the ball gets swung, and the person has a choice to throw it to Cody Zeller if Malcolm stays with Struss, or if he goes with Cody Zeller, throw it to Struss. Malcolm Brogdon, for some reason, goes and stays up with Cody Zeller, and he just throws it to Struss for a 3. And I'm just sitting there going, so you're worried about Cody Zeller out on the 3-point line, but you're not worried about Max Struss? Like, if you have to make a decision, K-Fal, like, who the hell are you staying with? It was awful.
I went to Indiana and watched plenty of Cody Zeller, and I will say that Cody Zeller did make a few threes in college, so there's a chance that he could make one, like a small percentage.
I'll take my chances over
those are just basic
Max
assignments, too, though. Like, those are just, like, you can't blow those assignments like that.
No, because Miami will take advantage of them. That's what I mean, though. Miami is they're going to take advantage of all those type of blown assignments. They're a smart enough team. They're well coached, like Tony keeps talking about the damn coach. But honestly, that's their biggest edge because, like, talent-wise, I don't think it's close. You could say Jimmy and Tatum are close, like alpha. Like, is Jimmy better? Okay,
I think Tatum's definitely more talented, but I also think
100%.
if I need one win, I'm going Jimmy for sure. I'm just saying it. He is just a straight
in the playoffs. Killer. If you said to me, JSU, I'll take Jimmy over Tatum, I'm not fighting you. Like, I think Tatum's more talented.
Tatum's definitely more talented as far as just straight talent. But
correct.
I mean, if you're going to game 7 and you're picking one of those two, I don't think anyone's picking Tatum over Jimmy in a one-game.
It's hard when you say that because we're saying to not take the dude who in a game 7 just recently dropped 51, set the record, had like 10 rebounds, and like it's. I mean,
he's amazing too. He is, but man, Jimmy did it to Boston last year too, and Jimmy's.
He did. We forget about it because. Obviously, Boston ended up winning.
That just shows you how everything could be different, too, if that 3 goes in. Like, everything's different. We look at this series even different if Jimmy makes that 3.
Fucking this new Hemi thing is just driving me nuts. How do we get rid of the everybody changing the J to an H because it's him?
That's just called fun. Felix hates fun.
I just don't like. I don't understand it.
I'm gonna be showing every single Hemi message.
What do you mean you don't understand it?
Every single Hemi message is going up on the board.
I'm sending it to Kevin too now. Like, that's just being a Grinch. It's just fun saying Hemi. What's wrong with just saying Hemi?
I just have never.
Butthole, this is never happening. Stop it. You speaking it into existence will still never happen. Like, come on. Jimmy 56 versus. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's he's the man. Whatever. But keep sending the Hemi messages. I'll keep posting them. But do you guys want to get over to the series we're actually going to talk about today for the showdown? I did have a few things. One, Draymond Green had some interesting thoughts on game 2, and I did want to ask you guys because some of his ideas for adjustments the Lakers could make in Denver, obviously, were kind of interesting to me. So I wanted to get your thoughts on them because, Tony, I think you actually said this before game 1 that one of the adjustments he was talking about was a guy you were higher on in game 1. But we'll get there in a sec. And then the other thing, did you guys see this Lisa Salters? Talking about how
That's everybody in the media.
Lisa Salters, she reports for them, like on the NBA. You've never seen Nikola. You never turn on the TV and watch Nikola Jokic play a basketball game, like a full game. What are you talking about? You got to admit it. The guy's great. I was sleeping on him. He's won 2 MVPs. Literally 2 MVPs. He should have won a third, but he's won 2. You've been sleeping for the last 3 years. What the hell is going on? Like, what? How do we find these people that are reporting and doing media for the NBA? It's absolutely insane. Like, you don't know the best players. I get not knowing like Sam Hauser, Tony, or like, Duncan Rob. I get that. You know what I mean? Whatever.
I'm convinced like the DFS people, and I know we always make jokes on Twitter about how DFS people are always smarter than the GM, but like we watch the games closer than a lot, 99% of the people. The only people that might watch it closer are like actually scouts and stuff. Like these media people are not watching as much as we are.
There's no way, Tony. You make jokes about me watching Washington versus the Detroit Pistons in December. In December, at 7:00 on a Friday night. Yeah. But I'm just telling you right now, I don't even know if the scouts are watching Washington versus Detroit.
Besides the team scouts, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the team scouts. That's about it. But
I mean, they might not even be looking at that close.
It's crazy to me, though. It's unbelievable. And Tony, you were saying that to me before I even saw this thing on Twitter. You were saying it about other people.
I keep hearing it from everywhere. It's like, and they are giving Jokic his roses now, but it's like he's been doing this. And they were acting like, another thing that's annoyed me going into this year, they've acted like he's been bad in the playoffs. He hasn't. He just wasn't playing with people. And he was crushing. Like that Suns series where they got swept, I think. He was amazing in that series. It's just he didn't have anyone with him. You can't win by yourself.
They lost, man. I mean, what are you going to do? They lost.
And he still didn't even make excuses. That's what I like about it.
So what? Like, you don't watch until the finals, Tony? Is that what these people are kind of saying? Like, we just don't watch until the NBA finals, then we turn it on?
I think so. I just don't. I don't understand it. The good thing is he's definitely going to get his praise in this series and next series if they win, because he's going to keep doing what he's doing.
I kind of hope he just wins, because then it's going to make everyone pay attention. Like, what if how dumb will you feel as an MVP voter when he wins the championship and you didn't vote for him? You didn't give him a vote.
Is Mark? So is this whole? I always wonder. So the TNT's the West or the East, and this is the West this year. So Mark Jackson has to call every game in this series.
Correct.
It should be a rule if he doesn't. He should have to call every single game.
The rest of the year, just let the boy watch.
I did love that message GIF you posted with Mark Jackson. Just let the boy watch. I did definitely enjoy that. So I mean, it should be interesting. This series is going to be. I think both series are going to be awesome. The game ones were great for both series. We'll talk about this game and kind of the back and forth. But the last thing I had was the Draymond Green. Did you guys see the clips from Draymond? Anyone see the clips?
Give a summary so other people.
Yeah, I'll give the summary. So there was 2 things Draymond said. So I'll talk about the AG one first. So Aaron Gordon, who was consistently at the dunker spot, and pretty much what he was saying was Aaron Gordon, he's not going to fear you with the corner 3, right? He's not fearing anyone. So it gives AD an easy way to play off of Jokic and still help on Jokic. And what it does is when he's at the dunker's position, just clogs the lane. So, and then whoever's playing on Jokic is pretty much trying to force Jokic into AD, and everything is just clogged. It makes it so much harder for Jokic to score, make plays for others. So he was actually talking about an adjustment they could make where they actually take AG out sooner and play more Jeff Green, who can hit that corner 3, who's a little bit better at the corner 3, and at least make teams maybe fear them with that corner 3 spot, to where they have to make a decision on how to play Jokic. Do they let AD play him straight up? Do they let the other guy like Rui or whoever play him straight up and not give as much help? Or do they give up the threes, right? Or do they give up that corner 3? So I thought that was an interesting thing. And then the other adjustment that he was talking about was on the Lakers side, where he wanted to see more Vando on Jamal Murray to where when they switch that pick and roll, it's not as big of a deal. So I thought those were two interesting things that he brought up. And Tony, I know the Jeff Green one, you were really high on Jeff Green in game one. You thought it could be a series where he was effective. So I want to get your take first on that one, because I thought of you right when I was listening to him, because I saw AG. You know me, I didn't like AG. He was the one dude I said I was fading in that showdown in my 150. I didn't like him at all. I think you faded him too, I'm pretty sure. But
I didn't
what
full
do you
fade
think?
him, but I was way under on him. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think of that whole thing?
So I was disappointed that he said that, because watching Jeff Green in game one, I was even more convinced than ever that he's going to win me a showdown during this series. I was so convinced because of the way they were defending it. He could just stay, and that's why Denver was playing him in the fourth. He got extra run. I think he got 18 or 20 minutes, mostly in the second half too, where he was standing wide open in the corner, and they really hadn't adjusted to just throwing it to him and letting him shoot. I think he hit one in the corner or one in the elbow. I can't remember where
he hit one corner. I know he hit one.
I just think it's a really good Jeff Green series spot, and I think they can do a couple things. They can put Aaron Gordon up to be the entry pass too, to where AD couldn't guard him then, which would put a shooter in the corner in the dunker spot, put him all the way in the corner, put AG up top to be the entry passer. Obviously, AD is not going to go up and guard him right there, and that's just a simple solution that I think Denver will make. And I think, another great Jeff Green spot. I love that Jeff Green's still 3K too, because just people aren't going to really click that name. And he's going to win me a showdown during this series. I freaking know he is. And the other Draymond thing you talked about, Vandy, I just don't see it. I get it. Draymond's a defensive guy. Definitely he makes them better on D, so I get that. But he makes them significantly worse on offense. And I just think the Nuggets are going to be very happy if they play Vandy. I'll say that much.
I agree with both your takes. And you know me, I was skeptical on Jeff Green game one. You were making the case for him.
He didn't work out, though, so you were right in game one, though.
But I saw how he could be effective in this series. Like, I could see it. I saw what he was talking about. I saw it during the game, and I'm like, okay, AG definitely doesn't make sense, in my opinion, in that spot, in that role. I didn't like him anyway. So the Jeff Green thing makes sense. The Vando thing, I don't like either, so I'm with you there. K-Falik, what do you think of
another just key part of Jeff Green, though, real quick? Like, the only guy on Denver that can't shoot is AG. Like, everybody else can shoot. So as long as you put anyone else in that corner, you're in good shape. It's just you got to move AG somewhere else. It's just not going to work with. You can't let AD guard him and stand in the middle. But, go, Fallon.
So a few thoughts. Number one, let's take a step back a little bit and just consider the price changes that were made for this slate, or lack of, for some players. And I think that that's going to affect what is going to happen with how you're going to be attacking this slate. So you had Bruce Brown and KCP both got like 1K price increases after game one, while you had a guy like Rui, who got a ton of run, actually got a $200 decrease. So I think that that's going to I agree with you in regards to Jeff Green is going to see some solid run, but the one challenge is okay, he gets 21 minutes. Like, what can you project him for over 12 or 13 points? I'm not sure you can in a regular projection, and he's only $600 cheaper than Rui. So when you look at Rui, who played I think 28 minutes, if I'm correct. It's hard to consider it, but in regards to organize how they're planning, I think that you're not going to see any changes from the Lakers of the second half. They were happy with what happened in the second half, so I think that's the change that you see. I don't think Vanderbilt's going to see more run or anything like that. I think you're going to see the change being more Rui, less of either Dennis Schroeder or of D'Angelo Russell. One of the two is how I would anticipate that to work. And then otherwise they're going to play their game. And they were happy with how the second half went. And I agree with you with the Jeff Green being a semi-change. I don't want to call it a change, but Jeff Green is going to have an impact a little bit. But the problem becomes, and Tony may be right, but like, how much do you have to project a guy like Jeff Green to get onto your lineups with the fact that you have guys like I think at least I'm interested in hearing your thoughts, but I anticipate that we're going to continue over projecting the studs and just allow that to be the place that you start, because the projections for these studs are still low. And I don't understand why. I'm over projecting all the studs and over projecting Austin Reeves. And then those are the 5 guys hitting every single lineup for the most part. And then Rui's the one that makes it all work because you need some cheapies in there. So Jeff Green isn't hitting a ton of my lineups still.
Yeah, so this is what happened. See, I asked K Falik 2 questions. He says, "Fuck you, Johnny," and I'm not going to answer him. I
answered him in the end.
Spiel. And then at the very end, I'll throw you a little bone, and I'll give you Jeff Green's fine, but what do we got to project him for? Like, so okay, fuck you, John. Again, I don't really care about your Jeff Green take.
Be a better host.
I'm trying right now, Kayla. Hit the like button. All right, we just talked about basketball and nothing for like an hour already. So hit the like button. But for me, we'll get to what you have to project him to in a second. But all I'm thinking about is the fact that I could see the role increase, Kevin. So when I see in Showdown that I can have an edge where maybe some people don't see it, and I know the guy is going to be lower projected, but they're not taking into account what the potential bump could be, that has me interested. It was like in a, not the same way, but Caleb Martin, I projected him ahead of a bunch of guys that were projected over him. And I'm industry-wide, I'm sure, were projected over him. He was projected for like, I don't even know, what was it, like 18?
Yep.
Something like that, 17, 18. I projected him for like 28 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like he hit, or 27, whatever it was. He hit like a ton of my builds, obviously, because he was ahead of a ton of guys. But like that was because I saw a potential run that he could get in the series based off of how I saw the game going. And it's the similar take here. This is why Showdown's so good. This is why if you have actual takes, and you're going to be wrong with some of your takes, no doubt. Like you're not going to get every series right. You're not going to get every game right. But this is why Showdown is so hard for even the best NBA DFS players at some point in time, because the projections only get you so far. And Tony talks about it better than anyone, but it just makes it so much harder if you're just following projections. If you're just following projections, Showdown is so friggin' hard. You need to have somewhat of your own twist and take on Showdown. And this is why I think we do it as good as anyone in the industry. And this is why I think a lot of industry people almost stay away from talking about Showdown and doing shows with Showdown NBA and stuff, because it's not easy to do. You got to pay attention. You got to watch everything. I'll get to that in a second, Redman, but that's one thing that I think we do really good here. And Tony is definitely one of the best at. I mean, Tony, what do you think about that type of theory and thought process? Because I'm pretty sure that's what this is all. Showdown's all about.
Yeah, and it's just ranges. And whoever watched the Monday show or the Tuesday show, I guess now, Tuesday show, when they played last, I talked a lot about it. It's all ranges. Instead of projections, it's just ranges. So you got the 4 studs, which I would consider, like, obviously they're different price points, but Jokic, AD, LeBron, Jamal. It's just where you project them in that order, and then you just go in the ranges. Then Reeves, MPJ, D'Lo, Gordon, Bruce Brown, and KCP, kind of like Kevin talked about. Those guys were in the lower tier last game. Now they're in the mid tier where they're a little bit more expensive. They were both like certainly locks for me last game or close to it, KCP and Bruce Brown. Now, not as much though, just because they're closer in price to that next tier of stuff. So, and then you go down in the cheaper range. So literally all it is, and you just said it perfect. That's why a lot of the people that are really good at DFS don't talk about it, because they can't just talk about the projections. It doesn't work that way in the playoffs. Like Aaron Gordon's projection is just always going to be too high. Jokic is always going to be too low, and AD and LeBron and Jamal probably too low too with these studs. It's got Austin Reeves has gone for like 35 plus every game. He's playing 40 minutes. They'll still project him for like 30. Like if you just go in and run projections during the regular season, you'll end up decent. I think you'll end up losing money just because you don't have anything to make you different. But if you just go in and run projections in the playoffs, I don't see how you win in these showdowns. You got to make some changes. And if you do win, you're going to chop it a million ways too, which is all right, depending on the situation. But you just don't need to do it. And yeah, I mean, we do a good job for sure. At least giving game theory. We're not always right. Aaron Gordon could easily be in the winner tonight, depending on the adjustment. It all comes down to what they want to adjust. Maybe they do just put him in the corner and say, you know what? Shoot threes, make them, AG. And maybe he does make them. Maybe Michael up there said 5 corner threes tonight. Could happen. Definitely could happen. I mean, and he's closer in range too. So the game one, I said I'm not playing AG at all. I love Bruce Brown and KCP, but I projected AG at like 25, which was way lower than his projection. He was projected for 30 around the industry. Now, and KCP and Bruce Brown were projected high teens, low 20s, and they were way cheaper. So I bumped them way up to, I think, even slightly higher than AG. But now they're all the same price. So AG does have a little bit more value than those two guys tonight just because they're the same price all of a sudden.
All right, so Tony, I don't want to interrupt you, but I kind of have to because I got to get a winner because our guy Redman.
Talk about Redman anyways. This he's been one of our main people for a long time in the Discord, always crushing the niche sports and stuff. Dude's just been on a heater this week, just crushing.
Not just the niche sports. I mean, he crushes baseball.
All the sports.
He crushes all the
sports.
sports.
Plays everything. He's one of the people in there that's the best, and it's a good part of Run Pure Sports. We got good coordinators, but we also got people like Redman that are in the Discord just crushing.
Loyal Legion members, I'm going to start calling him. I think we got to go with Loyal Legion or something. I don't know.
He is a good dude, very loyal, and he just crushes. He's great at DFS. I'm glad he enjoys the content that we provide. But I mean, he definitely has his own takes, I'm sure too, that he puts with the content. But that's when you're just like a good player, and you know he's someone that is definitely a benefit for us that we have the guy in the chat, and he's sharp enough to hang out and talk, and I'm glad he watches these shows and likes to hang out with us. But yeah, he's crushing. He's shipped a few different times now, it feels like, in the last week or so. And he wants to get back. He's going to stake someone to the 20 max, $4 entry. He's going to stake you so you can load up 20 in that 20 max, one person. So in the live show chat right now, you got 60 seconds, all right, to type in. And Tony, you're going to pick the winner in the live show chat. Tony, you have to type one GIF. You have one GIF. Don't type multiple GIFs or you're out. One GIF, that Big T's favorite GIF. Go. 60 seconds in the live show chat. You got to be a member in the Discord.
My favorite one.
You got to pick your favorite one, buddy. So live show chat, if you're a member in the Discord, post a GIF, whatever GIF you think Tony's favorite GIF is. It can be anyone you want. Get creative. Jeez, fly Eagles.
Here they
First
come.
one was good. They're flying too, Tony. This is good.
I got a lot of gifts I like, so it's going to be an interesting one here.
That's why I knew this.
I'm going to pick a different one too. It's not going to be one of the. I'm going to pick a new one that I haven't used myself.
Oh, so you got to really impress Tony. I see what you're doing.
Because I've used a lot of good gifts in my Twitter stuff. Oh, there you go, Eric.
I mean, they know you pretty well too, Tony. So it's not that hard to give some good ones that you'd like.
Definitely not picking that, Gary.
Oh, damn! You got the Draymond pop in there. Oof. I do like that punch right there. I am a new sub. Let's see where we at here.
I'm in the house board.
I have a new sub. Love you guys. Content has helped my DFS game. Appreciate you, Nate. Love that. Love to
Nate,
hear
did you
it.
post a GIF in the live show chat?
Get in the live show chat. Post a GIF in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord and you're a member, that you're just doing it wrong. Make sure if you're a member, you're in the Discord. Tons of content, tons of smart people in there. Not even just us, but other members like our guy Redman, who's giving away 20. So yeah,
Riles Golf, bro. With the
only one gift, people. Only one gift. Don't be throwing multiple gifts in there. I'll start disqualifying people.
I got one. Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean, it's the Nuggets. I got to pick the winner right here. GY. He's got Yoke holding the meat right here. We got to go with GY. He's the winner. We got to go with him.
Was he just grabbing it, or did he get hit in the
I don't
nuts?
know what he was doing, but I like the gift.
I think he was showing the ref that he got hit in the cojones. Like, he got hit down there. Like, he was grabbing it like, yo, I just got hit there.
Yeah,
like
he's not grabbing anything very big, may I just say, down there right now.
I mean,
if you look close
all
enough.
right, relax here, Kevin, okay? Don't be questioning his schlong size on this show here. We can't be doing that. That's a erroneous take. Erroneous.
Erroneous.
I said erroneous, and then I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. We got the winner though. So GY DM Redman 130.
That was a good gift too. That was a good one. I like that one.
I forgot this, but you got to have PayPal. So hopefully you have PayPal, because that's what Redman
or Venmo,
said.
I think he said. I think he said
both.
Okay.
PayPal or yeah, you're right. PayPal or Venmo, one of those two. You need one of those two. DM him, he'll hook you up. And you got about 2,000 spots left, so get in there as quick as possible, because that's going to fill. All right, let's get to the showdown talk, boys. I mean, we went through about 50 minutes of bullshit and hoops talk. I like that. That's perfect. We're in the wheelhouse now, Tony. We're ready to talk the prices.
The good thing is, like, I feel like super confident about this series, like very confident showdown wise. And the other series, I'll be honest, I'm always honest with the people. Not as confident with the other series, just because there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of mid-range guys that I think, kind of like I said yesterday on the show, just a lot of pieces. This series, I really don't think there's that many directions this game can go. I think it's clear cut. I like, there's not any mystery pieces in this game. There's mystery pieces in the Boston series that I think could win some games for people. I don't see it in this game. I mean, like Falik said, the two like somewhat mystery pieces to me are Rui, like not a mystery piece. I think Rui's going to get steamed. None other though. Like, he's going to get a ton of ownership. And what happens when he just gets in foul trouble? Like in showdown, to me, it's almost like a reverse edge here. Everyone watched what we did. The one takeaway standard across the industry is going to be Rui guarding Yoke. Everyone's going to play him tonight. I promise you. Everyone's playing him. He's going to be 60, 70% owned. What happens when he just gets – it's still Rui. What happens when he gets in foul trouble? That's how you get Jeff Green to the finish line, Falik.
The problem with that is Rui's not guarding him straight up. He's always going to have help when he's on him. That's the only issue, and he's knows
got help, but he's still going to be bodying him. And
he's still going to body
crafty.
Him. Yeah, he is. You're right. That's fair. And
he'll get how many fouls did he finish with last game? And he only guarded him for. Did he finish with 4 or no?
He finished with 4. Yep.
Yeah, like, and he only guarded him for half the game.
But Tony, my rebuttal to that would be that I'm not sure who I want in this like mid-range that is going to cause, like, I'm just going to be overweight on these top 5 guys and then be overweight on that like 3K range and then fill it in with the 1Ks from there pretty much. Like, I think that's the, like, I don't think that the difference is with Rui versus Jeff Green per se or anything like that. I think the difference is how do you get lower on D'Angelo Russell, Aaron Gordon?
Like, I think D'Angelo, I've talked about this a lot, how you just lower the projection on people. I think D'Angelo Russell's borderline take him all the way out of the pool. Like, that's how unplayable I think he is.
You're saying take him out of the pool? You never do that.
I just think he's that bad of a play at 7K. Like, he might not even play. Like, that's how bad of a matchup it is for him, in my opinion. I don't think they can play him much at all.
So I decided to increase his projection that I'm seeing around the 25 point to 27, and I still can't get him to hit.
You're going to have to literally put him like 33, 30.
Yeah, I still can't get him to
higher
hit
than those other dudes.
He needs to be projected higher than like Reeves and
all those guys, the whole mid range.
MPJ, yeah. I mean,
and the problem is you're going to bump the studs.
You have to,
and you're going to bump. You can't put him above Austin Reeves.
No.
So it's impossible I don't see how he could be on the winner. If he's on the winner tonight, I can promise you I'm losing money because he is definitely the worst play of the slate for me. But he's also going to be one of the lower owned. So if you want to use that as a case, but I just feel like I have a really good read on this series. And I mean, to me, he's by far the worst play.
I'm fine with it. I agree with you. So I'm good with that. What about
and Schroeder almost is just as bad to me. Like, I think Schroeder's a really bad play too.
What's his price tag?
4,800 is all. I just don't think he's going to play all that much. I mean, you're going to have the two studs and Reeves are going to play 40 plus.
He's not going to play too?
Who?
Dennis Schroeder?
I mean, Schroeder or D'Lo will eat most, but I mean, Rui, Vandy, I still think there's a Beasley in this series too. I really do, but he's one of the 1K guys.
Love Beasley. Like,
I love the 1K price.
I know you do, but
I don't think he plays over Schroeder series.
I think it's a Schroeder series because I think they like him chasing over those screens with Jamal Murray. They much prefer him to. I don't think they're going to play Beasley unless they just can't shoot.
Well, I'm not. I don't want people to think that I'm like saying they're going to play Beasley 15 minutes or something. Like, I literally think they might throw him in, and if he makes a couple shots, then he plays 8 minutes or something. Like, I'm not saying he's stealing Schroeder's minutes. I'm just saying they need. Sometimes you just got to throw something at the wall, and I think he's the guy that it would be. And the 1K, like Falix said, though, the 1K price, it's shipped in game one. And with the studs in this series, I wouldn't be stunned if it ships again with the 1K guy at 0.
The thing, I would like to add that the two 1K guys almost shipped game one because the game was getting out of hand.
I would like to add the KCP build almost shipped too. Did you guys see that?
That was my build, and I'm annoyed by it. Did not shipping. Falix owed me with that. I should have beat him with that KCP build.
So, and I think that's the big question is like the 2P players that I'm having a challenge, like not trying to find a way to get into my lineup, and I can't figure it out. When you look at the numbers, because they're going to be so low owned, is KCP and Bruce Brown, and like I'm interested to know what y'all are thinking about what you want to do with KCP and Bruce Brown with this price increase on DraftKings. Like, I'm very interested in trying to figure out. I've tried so hard to get them in, and I just can't. I cannot get them in.
Projections though, like, I mean, what are you projecting KCP for?
I'm projecting them both for 27, which is 6 points above the industry.
The industry projection's terrible on these two, though, at home. Like, it's just a bad projection. Like, they should be definitely, in my opinion, KCP is going to play it. I mean, they should be close to 30, in my opinion. So, and again, this is where using SaberSim, our company, our partner company, helps. Because like Falix talking about over and over, just keep playing with the number. Okay, I give KCP 33. How many times does he hit? I give KCP 28. Does he hit? Like, I mean, low 30s gets hairy, but that's also how you ship a showdown. Crank KCP to 35. See what happens. Yeah, is that an actual projection? Probably not. But it's your projection where he hits threes. And KCP is going to be really good in this series. He's built for this series. And so is Bruce Brown. I mean, these guys are good. So, I mean, just to look at the industry projections, I mean, they got Bruce Brown projected for 21 across the industry.
Yeah,
that's just a bad projection.
That's too low. I agree with you. But what stinks about Bruce Brown is like, man, I wish he could get more minutes. He just, I don't see a path where he gets more than what he got, which is fine. He can still get there. but
he
it's
could
just
pick up
annoying.
some for MPJ got more run in game one than he has because of the off, and he was playing pretty good D too.
MPJ's defense was pretty good. I will say,
35 minutes from him
good.
is definitely close to a ceiling for MPJ, I think. And Bruce Brown only played, what did he get? He got 24 minutes, and he still had 24 fantasy points. That's why I just don't understand how you can project him for 21 when he played a floor minutes wise, still got 24. I don't know.
But it's just still not fitting.
They need to stop playing Braun. I think they just need to
I
stop.
don't think it's his series either. I don't know. Malone's been stubborn though. He's been stubborn with these 8 guys.
He loves that kid too.
I just don't see him change, and they won. I just don't see him changing the rotation. I know Rubio keeps putting his little quote about DeAndre Jordan and playing Rubio. I got news for you. The quote didn't even mean that.
He's not afraid to play him though, Tony.
The Malone quote didn't even tell me that he was going to play. It was just him being nice to DeAndre. Like, I'm not afraid to play him. Well, of course you're not. You're not afraid to play anybody on your roster. What is he going to come out and say that, no, I'm not ever playing him? Like, you're not doing that.
He's not afraid to play Reggie Jackson either, but he's not playing Reggie Jackson. Like, they're not playing those guys.
They're playing 8 guys. They just are. And you know what? If it's a blowout, obviously anyone could play. But these Lakers guys.
No, but Reggie Jackson, Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan are not playing in a blowout. That's the thing. Is like they that's not the blowout team that they go with. So I would just I can't see playing them if you don't think that they're going to get regular run.
Well, that's the ultimate point, though, you don't need that many 1K guys. The Lakers guys at least have a path. I don't think they might not play. Like, I'm not saying they're going to, but they at least have a path. Tristan Thompson, I know he didn't play in game 1. He at least has a path, though, to play. Rui picks up fouls. Like, that's how you could solo ship tonight. Build the best Rui team and pivot Rui to Tristan. That's how you could solo ship this showdown. Not saying it's going to happen because you need stuff to happen. You need Rui to get in foul trouble and maybe AD to get in foul trouble. You could need 2 things, but there's at least a path to that. I don't see a path to DeAndre. Even if Yoke gets in foul trouble, I don't think they bring him in. So I just don't. I'm not playing a guy that I think for sure is getting 0. And sure, I know people are saying like Tristan and Beasley got 0. They could get 0 again. They probably will get 0. The odds are in your favor that they get 0. But when they don't, and when they get you 8 and you ship all the money, it's worth it.
So Nick in the chat's asking, can you guys touch on rules you'll be doing for this game here? Maybe like giving an example, like maybe max 1 of KCP or Bruce Brown. What type of rules do you guys have in place, if any? I
don't think those 2 really impact. For me, the 2 that for Denver-wise that affect each other are MPJ and Bruce Brown, actually.
I think he was given an example, but
KCP is going to play no matter what, so he doesn't need a rule. Aaron Gordon's going to play. I mean, really, the only 2 that I think affect each other are Bruce Brown and MPJ. Bruce Brown more defense, MPJ more offense, but like, if MPJ's missing shots, Bruce Brown's going to play for him. I promise you. So I don't think you need a rule, though, because they could both be on the winner. They were both good in the last game. And
great in the last game. They were both great.
Yeah. And the Lakers, I mean, I'm looking at rules for them. I just don't see it.
I don't think you need any. Personally, I don't think you need any rules. I've tried to figure out what a rule should be.
So the one rule I would put in for the Lakers is I definitely don't want those 3 guards together, like D-Russ, Schroeder, and
as Tony says, it's not going to be an issue for me because I have underprojected Dennis Schroeder and I've actually overprojected Dennis Schroeder, and he's
but not everyone's doing that, Kevin. You know what I mean?
That's fine. I don't see how. Maybe I'm playing 150 wrong, but I've just overprojected the studs. I've underprojected the mid tier. And it's hitting correctly still. Like, these studs still aren't going to be owned high enough, I think.
And a lot of people won't play LeBron and AD together too. Is another thing. They'll limit one, and that's just not the right way to play Showdown. I don't think they could easily both be in the winner. So I don't really see a reason why you would limit it to one.
Tony, I'll ask you a question, and maybe I'm sure you don't have the answer yet, but I'll maybe give the people an idea. So I'm seeing Rui projected for like 65 to 70% owned, right?
Yeah.
What are you hoping to get him at? Because I know you're not going to fade him. What is your goal?
It's a really tough spot for me because just watching game one, he's clearly the guy that is. We said it before game one, but then we watched it in game one. He's clearly the guy that this matchup benefits on offense and defense. But at some point in Showdown, though, ownership does matter with these guys like Rui. It's really hard for me. Like, I think he's a great play just on the surface. But
You're gonna
man,
try to
if you're
cut-
telling me if he's 70% owned, I think you get some luxury to fading him. I really do.
Full
If I was
fade?
playing like one team,
I think it's tough in 150 to full fade.
Full
Rui.
fade?
I don't think you should for sure because
Yeah, that's what I'm
it's
saying.
definitely
So
likely.
give me if I know you haven't run the numbers. I'm just what are you hoping to get Rui at right now? I
Like if you
dropped
told
him
me
down,
right now, let's talk about it like this, for example. So if you told me he was like even 50% owned, I probably would be close to just saying, let me lock him in. But if you told me he's like 75 or 80%, I might be like, give me 50% of him and go under. So it really is that sensitive of a spot. But the one thing that I'm certain of, he is a good, if you take ownership out of it, he's definitely a mint like optimal type play for sure. Like 100%. But it is Showdown and there is game theory involved with Showdown. So like,
I mean, the one thing when you watch the Lakers approach to game one that I noticed was, and I don't know if you guys noticed this too, but every single time they saw Jamal Murray in front of them, they attacked him. They literally went right to the rim every single time. LeBron was trying to get a switch to Jamal Murray every time. Rui was trying to get Jamal Murray. Right when they got Jamal Murray, there was no shooting, Tony. There was to the basket, to the hole. They made him work on defense, and I think you're going to see that continue because they keep switching every single time. They're just going to keep going for the switch where they get the big on the little. And Murray was in foul trouble in that game, right? At the end of the game, he was in foul trouble. That's one thing I think the Lakers, and that's where Rui, I think, has a massive advantage because if you're Denver, you're much more focused on AD and LeBron. Rui is going to get some of those matchups where he's just sealing off the little, catching.
I totally agree. Like we all agree on Rui. All three of us.
Let me say one thing in regards to the build when you're building this way with the theory of being underweight on Rui and being overweight on Jeff Green. Like, let me add that into the conversation.
I don't even want people. I want people to for sure understand what we're saying when we say this though, because I don't want people to come back tomorrow and be like, they said to fade Rui. Like, people need to understand how we're saying this. He's a really good play. We need to
let me add in a piece to the puzzle that maybe you all agree with. Again, I'm a novice in regards to 150 building. If I am playing Jeff Green and not playing Rui, I want to be able.
I'm a novice that won 15K yesterday, and 20K the week before.
I honestly am though. Like
the chest there is poking out as he says it.
Yeah, let me throw this out there, and I may be wrong. If I'm playing Jeff Green and not playing Rui, I want to make sure that I'm playing between 49.4 or 49.5 and 50K and not leaving. Like, I want that $600 to actually be used for something instead of leaving salary on the table because I think that he's just going to Jeff Green is going to straight up beat Rui numbers wise. I think that chance, I just don't see the chances being there that he's going to beat Rui straight up are just, I feel like it's a little short. And so I'd rather be able to spend all the salary if I'm doing that.
Yeah, but like this is the luxury of 150 that's different than your 3 max. Like when he outscored, like right now, all the optimals, I just ran it, no settings, just straight optimals. Yeah. Rui hits them all. Obviously, Green doesn't hit any of them. Obviously, that's the basic. Literally, if you sub Jeff Green in for Rui on these optimals, which you're going to love the optimals, 3 studs, Rui, a 1K guy, and then a mid-ranger like Schroeder or whoever. If you switch Jeff Green, all he has to do is outscore Rui, and you beat all of those trains. Like, it's that simple in 150-wise.
I agree.
And again, like, to say Jeff Green's going to outscore Rui, what percentage do we give that? I give it maybe a 10% to 20% chance tops. Like 70-80% of the time, Rui is definitely outscoring him, but everyone's playing Rui. I mean, just running default. I mean, I think he could be 80% owned tonight.
I do
really
too.
do.
So I feel like getting 40%.
And can Rui talk about it this way? What's our percentage of Rui getting in foul trouble and getting like 11 fantasy points? How often does that
He
happen?
could easily get 13
Exactly.
or 15,
and he's 80% owned.
100%.
What if he picks up 2 quick ones on Yoke?
So then when you're building it, are you building almost two different, like back to the way that do you build 100 lineups with the correct projection and then 50
I
of
think
them?
you can do it like that. I think that's a good way to put it, where you build, and you might even crank him on those ones even higher. Like maybe I build 75 Rui where I project him for 25. How many fantasy points do you have in the first game?
Only 21. That's the funny part. He didn't do.
Mahomes, while they're looking at this is the problem is, so he says if he starts, I think I agree he'll be 60 to 7% owned. This is the one thing though that Tony taught me. It's not about that. It's about the projection. So if the projections already have him like
he's going to be 80 or 90%,
he's going to be that way whether he starts or not. You know what I mean?
But
he
just,
might get higher,
just to like scratch the back of the thought, like obviously it's slightly better if he's off the bench. The projection will go down a little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, I don't know if the projections right now are accounting. Like, how many minutes is it?
Wait a second though. He's still going to hit a ton because they bumped like KCP and Bruce Brown. So there's not many people like near his range.
I mean, his projection is not high right now. I mean, he's projected for 18, 19.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
because as I said at the beginning of this, and I know JSU didn't like that I didn't answer his 2 questions directly, but the slate is dependent on 3 things. KCP and Bruce Brown got a price increase that was hefty. Like it wasn't even small. It was a hefty
I hope it
price.
keeps their ownership down.
It's going to. We're going to get them low owned again. That's part of our edge is those guys.
They're my 2 highest owned guys. I'm going to run it back, I think.
And then you have on the other side that Rui got a $200 price decrease after playing 28 minutes. When in theory, if you look at what he should be 4,500 or above, I would think. In on this slate, like his price should be probably 45 to 5K.
Oh, Rui?
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely too cheap. He should be definitely.
Joe Ruff said he's hitting 100% at a 19 projection.
Yeah, he's just going to hit everything because of the price.
It's because of the build. It's the build that you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Again, a problem I come down to is on this slate, after watching game 1, everyone's going to want a stud captain because they just saw what Jokic did. They saw what AD did. The cheapies got bumped for the most part. They're going to want them in. But, Tony, that's going to force everyone to play Rui because no one wants to play Jeff.
Everyone's going to play Schroeder, too, for that matter. So,
yeah.
Another thing you can do is just go under on Schroeder, too. Like, I don't like Schroeder as much. So, there is definitely an edge to going higher on Bruce Brown, KCP, and Aaron Gordon for that matter. Even though I don't love Aaron Gordon, he's in that price range where he's just not going to be played as highly just because of that. And who knows what the adjustment is? Maybe he's the passer and then he cuts off Yoke or something like that. So we'll see what the adjustment is. But I mean, if you just go in there and you play 3 studs with Schroeder and Rui and a 1K guy, I mean, you're going to chop 10 million ways, which is fine. You're going to be in the winner. But if that ends up being the optimal 3 studs with those 3, I mean, you're just in major dupe city, which is fine. We always talk about it. It's okay. Like if you're playing 5 teams, build a couple. That's why Fallick, when he's saying 150, I like the idea. Build 75 normal ones with what you think. Build 75 where you maybe fade Rui, knowing that it's risky.
So a couple questions in the chat. Butthole says, JSU, are you playing KCP or you like KCP? Would you play him in the captain? I assume is what he's saying. I don't know if I'm going to get him in the captain. I'm going to look at what those teams look like, though, for sure. I don't know if he hits, though, but I'm definitely going to have a high percentage of him in the util for sure. I'm going to be overweight on him for sure there. Maybe some hit, though. I don't know yet. I haven't ran my 150 yet. I'm going to leave him like available in my captain and see how many he hits of my 150. if that answers your question. But then the other question was, we're talking about Rui, and someone said Rui captain ? So is that going to be popular, Tony? Like,
Yeah.
Is that a way to actually play Rui differently, or is that something that people are going to do?
Yeah, I mean, Rui's just going to be in there. So I don't know. Like, what is Rui even? Let me pop him in the captain real quick.
Yeah, put him in
If
there.
you pop him in, you put Yoke, you put one of AD, you put Jamal. I mean, you're down to 5,500.
It gets you the build that it's a very common build. I've been building for a couple hours now. I'm probably overstressing myself in this 150, but I really
you are definitely overstressing yourself.
I'm trying to hone myself. If I'm doing this, I'm going to try to hone this in and try to figure it out. And I'm challenging
It's all
myself.
just the numbers games what makes it fun. And
I'm enjoying it.
You just tinker with the numbers and see what hits.
Yeah,
I think Rui captains is pretty bad. I mean, just to be honest, like if
it
wins,
he's gonna be. I think Rui will be the fifth highest owned captain. So I don't think that it's going to be a differentiator. He was hitting a lot of my builds as captain when I just started it off.
I agree with Brandon. Stress levels high for Kev him tonight.
Yep.
I'm with you over there, Brandon. But yeah, I mean, it should be interesting. I think that there's a good debate to be had on the fade or the play, or how do you get different. I mean, because Tony, everyone wants to play these studs in the captain, right? That's like not even a question on this slate.
Yeah.
Could you sell yourself on a mid-tier captain though?
Again, I hate to be redundant with this, and I know people hate when I keep saying the same thing, but I'm just literally letting the numbers and nuggets. I almost said nuggets, but numbers dictate it. Like, how much do I have to project these mid-tier guys? Austin Reeves, Porter, D'Lo, if you like him, Gordon, Bruce Brown, KCP. How much do I have to project them to hit my captains? And then you just literally go number by number, like Falik's talking about doing. And maybe we should do like a tutorial over at Run Pure one of these days during the playoffs. Just literally run it. Okay, Bruce Brown at 30, Bruce Brown at 27, Bruce Brown at 25. And then and this is one of the reasons I don't have to have the DK app open all night, because I know what my guys need. Yeah. If Bruce Brown, like the other night, I didn't look all night. I knew I had a chance to ship because all my guys were where I needed them in the projections. And, if they're all where you need them to be, you just know you have a chance. And then it makes it fun when you open it up and you see Rubio and Falik and these guys shipping, till you realize that you were 1 point behind and you could have shipped with the same thing. But point being, it helps you not to be able to root because you know what your guys need.
Yep. In classic order, Tony was 1 point behind. JSU was 2 points behind. K Falik was ahead.
Doesn't get you a whole lot of those showdowns, though. You get punished when you're a couple.
So I know you have it highlighted. The question for Marquis is I think still a good. My answer would be is that if Marquis is I don't hate it at all, and the reason I don't hate it at all is because we almost saw where it would have hit to an extent. With these 4 studs went off last game, and you had the mid-tier that failed overall, and it allowed you to get the 4 studs and then get one cheap guy with a 1K guy in there, and you can take the 0. You're taking a chance for it. It's not going to hit more often, but I would not play it in a 5 or less teams that you're playing. But in 150 right now, I have 5% of my teams have the 1K guy in the captain, just because that's what the numbers are hitting. And I'm going to continue playing these numbers. And while JSU is saying like he loves KCP and Bruce Brown, I do too. The thing is I can't, like, I'm projecting them to what I think is what I'm maximum comfortable projecting them to. And I'm still getting 3x the industry. I'm getting a total of like 60% of them while the industry is playing 20% or so. And I think I'm comfortable with that number.
All right. So there's been some questions about FanDuel. So no FanDuel. We always neglect FanDuel, Tony. We got to give a little FanDuel love. So I got FanDuel pulled up.
That we have a premium product too at Run Pure. Like we're going to have cores and stuff for FanDuel. It's just a different build at FanDuel, but to look at the prices and stuff, studs. Last game was a little different, I think, with the pricing on FanDuel. This time, Yoke, AD, LeBron, Jamal, all right where they should be. Austin Reeves is 5th. So I think Fallick would agree. Like the pricing looks where it should be. DK is a little different than that. I mean, just going straight down the list, you got your top. If I had to project the top 7 scorers, it's exactly how it's priced on FanDuel. So you got to find some edge. My man Jeff Green, 6K on FanDuel. Rui is 8K, so you get a 2K difference, which is significant.
Huge.
And he's the only 6K guy, too, which is a luxury. So if you play, let me just see real quick. On FanDuel, if you
plugged in Jokic and Jeff Green with, I don't know, you like AD or LeBron better, Tony?
I mean, I just like, what if you plug Rui and Jeff Green in your utilities?
You got 14, 2, 5.
You can't fit 3 studs though, right?
No.
What do you have to do to fit even the cheapest 3? I mean, I'm not fading Yoke, so
Yoke,
LeBron, Murray.
You have to go all 2 6K guys, and then you can fit in 2 of the. I mean 3.
No. Hold on. No, you're
6,500.
You're left with 6,500.
Or 6,500. Yeah,
so
6,500.
Just straight speaking in general, I want the studs. So Jeff Green's a significantly better play on FanDuel just because of what it does. And I mean, even I don't like Vanderbilt much, but man, at 6,500 to get 3 studs, he's gonna play. I mean, he might not play like a ton, but he's going to play, and that would be just a basic build. But I've seen things in the past on FanDuel ship where you get off of the 3 studs and only play 2 and then play like a Reeves I mean, Reeves is 12K, though. I don't like that all that much. That's getting up there. I mean, he's only 2,500 cheaper than Jamal. But you can go back to like KCP and Bruce Brown on like, what would that do if you go – KCP, Bruce Brown, Jeff Green? Who does that put? And then like AD, so you could that leaves 3K on the table. You could even put Austin Reeves over one of those guys. But I think that could be a way to get different. Only play 2 studs on FanDuel.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, again, like Tony said, if you want more on FanDuel, DraftKings, we've got core plays. We've got full player pools, which just to go into detail real quick, but Tony does a full player pool for NBA, MLB, all these sports pretty much. Tony, you just want to lay it out real quick, what you give with your player pool?
Yeah, so I'll have my full player pool for DK, and it's usually the same for FanDuel. I'm looking tonight where sometimes the cheaper guys are hit a little, like Vanderbilt. Like I said, I probably won't play him much at all on DK. But FanDuel, like, I think that's clearly the optimal build. We can say it on FanDuel. 3 studs with Vandy and Jeff Green. Like, I think that would be my optimal if I was playing one team. But just as far as my content, yeah, full player pool, cores for both sites. And then we're always in the Discord. We got 40 freaking people, coordinators that are in there to help people. And all the way up to lock. The nice part tonight, there's no baseball. So it's 6:15 right now. We're on a hour and a half show. And then we got 2 hours till tip-off. So there's going to be plenty of strategy talk in our Discord. And yeah, I mean, more is better. We got tons of people in there to help.
That's right. More is better. We got K Fallick under Mangone's 3-max strategy.
Is he still in there? Are you still on the 3-max?
I saw him in there. So you know, you can get all those
yet.
You can't do 3-max when you're a 150 champion.
He might need a full player pool, Tony. You might need to make him a full
so what I've been doing in the Discord early in the day is
I like that sheet you put too. That sheet's nice. You do.
Yeah, I've been putting that out. I'm gonna update it and put it out one more time. While everybody else is gonna have plenty of time to adjust, I unfortunately will not be tonight. I'm going to be basically locked in at 6:00. So God forbid anything changes. I'm in a bit of trouble. I have family things I got to do, and then I have personal things I got to do. So I'll be locked in by 6:00. I'm going to update my sheet that I've been working on. I think listen, if people want to steal my exact projections, they can. I don't feel as confident with them. Again, I'm learning.
If I hear you say you're learning one more time, I'm going to puke all over my screen.
I'm about to end this show if he says it one more time.
Every time I'm learning. Stop sandbagging, Kevin.
Okay. It's going to be in the chat. I'm going to post that spreadsheet one more time for me to give you all a little understanding of what I'm where I'm landing. I'm very excited about this slate. I was excited about the last slate and feel really good about it. So we're gonna crush. And VIP said he posted some prize picks. We got the bets I'm sure are out, and if not, those will be out soon. JSU hasn't even said it yet, but yes, I'm about to get a full body wax. That would be lovely. JSU hasn't said it yet, but he crushed with his same game parlay and last game. So I think that
hasn't said it. He was freaking stroking himself. I was stroking him too. 10, and he came back with like a 14
me when you don't
teamer.
play it, Tony. When you don't drive across that board, when you don't play it, you can't fucking stroke me. But yeah, if you do want it, it's on the bet side.
Is it up already tonight? How many people's in it tonight?
It's already up. It's already up. So
how many legs?
7, I think. There's 7 legs to it.
Just because we like the free people. More's better. Give it out for free here. Leave.
All right.
For the people.
The people's parlay, it was KCP 15 points over, KCP plus 2 threes, Austin Reeves 15 points, and Austin Reeves 2 plus threes, Jamal Murray 3 plus threes, Bruce Brown 4 plus rebounds, and Nikola Jokic 10 plus assists. So there's your single game parlay. That's about plus 45, 4,500, somewhere around there. So get you a nice one there.
Correct, Riley Golf Pro. He's a sandbagger.
I've never played golf. I never played 18 golf holes in my life, so I'm pretty sure you'll kick my ass.
All right. Well, on that note, it was fun for an hour and a half talking hoops with you guys. If you want more hoops talk, get in the Discord over at Run Pure Sports. Use code BIGT15. Get you 15% off your first month's payment. With that, thanks for hanging out with us. For me, JSU, Big T, K Fallick. We'll see you guys in the Discord. We're out. Peace.